aspect of motor development, that's the fine motor skills. So what do we mean by fine motor skills? So kung gross motor skills, it's about the core. Fine motor skills involve activities, okay, talking about eye-hand coordination. Okay, like when you reach for something, gagamitin mo yung mata and then your hands. Okay, reaching and grasping becomes more refined during the first 2 years of life. Unlike during infancy, okay, pag infant ka, grasp ka lang ng grasp without, reach ka lang ng reach without using your eyes. But as we age, nagkakaroon na ng coordination ang mata at yung mga limbs. Okay, eye-hand coordination. Infants show only crude shoulder and elbow movements, and then they show wrist movement, hand rotation, and coordination of the thumb and forefinger. So this fine motor skills are skills, I repeat, that involve a refined use of small muscles kumpara din sa big muscles na meron tayo kanina. Like the way you control your hands, the way you control your fingers, and thumb. So these are fine motor skills. So the development of these skills allows one to be able to complete tasks such as, kaya nga sa mga preparatory courses, early grades, madalas na pinapatrabaho sa kanila ay yung may kinalaman sa kamay. Like pinagugunting sila, pinagkukulay. Aside from learning about the color, okay, yung development ng kamay, yun yung kinoconsider doon. Kasi the more they use the hands, yung nasa nursery, kindergarten, preparatory years, okay, grade 1, marami silang activity na may kinalaman sa kamay. Okay, they would play with toys. Ayan, gamit yung kamay. Kaya nga yung mga laruan, it's a good thing, no? Huwag silang pagbawalan because it's a way for them to develop their fine motor skills, yung eye-hand coordination. Hindi lang sila naglalaro. Okay? Imagine yung bata na passive, na walang ginagawa, walang laruan, o walang kung ano naman na binibigay ang magulang. How would that child learn how to write? Pwedeng matuto pero baka late kasi hindi sturdy yung paghawak sa pencil kasi wala siya nung eye-hand coordination na dapat natutunan niya before by means of playing toys. Okay, but be careful when giving toys to children. Okay, to infants and toddlers. Kasi yung mga yan, kung anong mahawakan nila, isusubo pa rin nila. Yung mga yan, hindi pinagbabawal. And you would see some schools, preparatory schools, yung sa mga toddlers na puro laruan. Kasi nga, they want to develop the fine motor skills. Yung gross motor skills, kayang i-develop kahit sa bahay na lang. But in schools, okay, tinetrain, yan yung number 1, yung fine motor skills. For them to learn how to write, for them to learn how to draw, and even to button their shirt. Yan. Kaya madalang ang 1 taon, 2 taon na kayang i-button yung mga pants niya o kaya yung polo niya na mag-isa. Kasi wala pa siya ng fine motor skills. But as we age, okay, even siguro yung mga toddlers, ayan, pananaturuan na, kaya na. They already have the fine motor skills. Okay, so ngayon naintindihan niyo na ha. Pag ang bata hindi marunong magsulat, hindi kayang magsulat, hindi kayang humawak ng kung ano man, what you need to develop is first the fine motor skills. Ask them to use toys that require them to use their fingers, their hands. Okay? Next. The sensory and perceptual development for infants and toddlers. First question, can newborns see? Nakakita ba sila? Siyempre, ang sagot ay hindi. The newborn's vision is about 10 to 30 times lower than normal adult. Okay, makakaaninag siguro, no? Nakakaaninag, but it's blurred. Okay, it's not clear. By age of 6 months, by age of 6 months, vision become better, and by the first birthday, the infant's vision approximates that of an adult. So, makakakita lang daw ng buo according to research, to experts, yung buong buo completely. Okay, na parang matanda, it starts in 1 year old, the first birthday of the child. Okay? Pero yung bagong panganak, do not expect that na may clear vision na siya. Okay? But by the age of 1 year old, asahan na dapat nakakita na siya ng maayos. Kung hindi, consult the doctor. Okay, o kaya by age 6 months, hindi pa siya nakakaaninag, yung hindi gumagalaw yung mata niya na dapat nakakaaninag na, it becomes better, the vision should become better, consult the doctor. Dapat alam nyo yan. So you would somehow advise people you know na merong condition na ganun. Paano malala? Minsan kasi, no, meron mga bata na meron na palang sakit pero hindi pa napapansin ng magulang in terms of vision, in terms of hearing. Okay? This changes, this development should be something that you should be aware of. Okay? As teachers, we should know these things because we diagnose. Kasi minsan isipin na bakit malabo yung mata hanggang ngayon. At least you know how to explain. Okay, you know the history kung bakit nangyayari yan. Now, next question, can newborn hear? Nakaririnig na ba sila? Kahit actually, nung nasa ano pa lang, according to studies, kahit na nasa tiyan pa lang, nakaririnig na daw yung mga bata. Kaya nga, they would play music habang pinagbubuntis pa lang sila. Moving back. Okay, the sense of hearing in an infant develops much before the birth of the baby. So when the baby is in the womb, okay, the baby hears his or her mother's heartbeats. Ayan. The grumbling of his or her stomach. The mother's voice, naririnig na niya. And music. So how soothing it must have been for you to listen to your mother's lullaby. So pwede na nating i-advise sa mga magulang na ito ang gawin nila. Kasi pala, bata pala, nasa womb pa lang, nakaririnig na. Infant sensory thresholds are somewhat higher than those of adults, which means that stimulus must be louder to be heard by a child, okay? An infant than by an adult. So in a study, what about this one? That's according to study. Can newborns feel pain? Do they respond to touch? Of course, yes. Okay. Nakikita nyo na, di ba, pag gutom ang bata sa pagmumukha nila. And they start learning about facial expressions. In a study conducted with babies only 2-hour-old, bagong panganak, 2 oras, pinatikim sila ng iba't ibang panlasa, sweet, sour, and bitter taste solutions. Iba-iba yung reaction nila dun sa tatlo. It means to say, they could taste. Okay, that's for question number 4. Newborn babies can distinguish different tastes. Okay, do infants relate information through several senses? In short, are infants capable of intermodal perception? What do we mean by intermodal perception? Ito, kunyari, sa mga 3 months, pag narinig ba ng isang, of course, may kapatid ka naman, no, Miss Panganita, for sure you have seen a baby. Yung mga infants ba, pag meron silang narinig nila yung boses ng nanay niya, can they recognize? Nare-recognize na ba nila? Even yung pang-amoy na lang. And then suddenly, bigla lang silang iiyak, diba? O kaya pag kinarga sila ng iba, alam nila na hindi nila nanay o magulang yun. And then pag kinarga sila ng nanay nila, tatahimik. That's what we mean by number 4. They can relate information through the several senses they could identify. So as early as 3 months, 3.5 months old, infants look more at their mother when they also heard her voice. Ayan, pag narinig na daw nila yung boses ng nanay nila, tinitignan, hinahanap na daw na ng mata nila. Okay? And longer at their father when they also heard his voice. Ayan. So they could familiarize with the voices they hear. Okay, pati pang-amoy, kayang-kaya na nilang, they have the ability to determine. Okay, let's move to our second topic. Cognitive development of infants, okay, and toddlers. So it says here the infants and the toddlers' development fall under the sensory motor development stage of Piaget's cognitive development, which we already studied before. Natatandaan pa yung cognitive development ni John Piaget? Ilang stages kasi yon? Yes, Roy. Thank you for raising your hand.
4 stages, sir. The sensory motor.
That's number 1.
Pre-operational.
Okay.
Concrete operational.
Good.
And formal operational.
Okay. Pag pinag-usapan natin ng infant and toddler, yung unang binanggit ni Roy na sensory motor development stage, yun ang tinutukoy natin. Okay? So for this aspect, since we don't have the luxury of time, just see the module later. Okay. We do not have the ability to recall events. So this is cognitive. That happened when we were very young. This is called infantile amnesia. Oh, may pa-amnesia pala tayo, no? Amnesia pala yung tawag doon. Hindi na natin matandaan. Oo nga naman, hindi na natin matandaan yung mga nangyari sa atin from infancy to toddler. Natatandaan ang pinagagawa nyo nung infant pa kayo hanggang 3 years old? Ako wala. Wala akong matandaan. But it's part of our development. We experienced that. Okay? We recognized that before, but we can't remember. Na makikita na lang natin sa picture, di ba? Ay, ginawa ko pala to. Maganda kung may video kayo na nakita niyo yung sarili niyo. Ginawa mo pala yun, but you cannot remember. So, ang tawag pala doon ay amnesia. Okay? And that's what we call infantile amnesia. Okay, many psychologists believe that people remember experiences beginning at the age of 3. Okay, so mula nung 3 taon ka, doon ka pa lang kakaroon daw, according to psychologists, ng abilidad para makatanda ng mga experiences. Some, however, remember significant events at the age of 2. Within the first years of life, development in the production of language includes, since we're talking about cognitive development, ito naman yung sa pagsasalita. Again, this is also cognitive. Ito yung sequence. Umpisa daw, we learn how to cooing, which comprises largely of vowels. Di ba? Kailan mag-umpisa? Wala naman nag-umpisa na nagsalitang ba, ka. Puro vowels daw yung sinasabi. Followed by babbling, which comprises consonant as well as vowels. Ayan. May consonant na, may pa-vowel na. Ma, pa. May sequence yan, no? So see, even in terms of language development, may sequence na sinusunod. Okay? Wala naman tao na agad-agad nakakapagsalita. Silamang lang. At isang epiko yon, no? Siya pa ang pumili ng pangalan niya. And it's an epic, I repeat. It's only based from imagination. It's impossible in this world that first a newborn would choose his own name and would speak immediately. Okay, after babbling, ayan, one-word utterances. Isang salita, pasala-salita. And then, two-word utterances and telegraphic speech. Pag sinabi nating telegraphic speech, ito yung mga infants and toddlers, toddlers na gumagamit na ng nouns and verbs. Okay? May nouns na sila, may verbs. Though grammatically mali. Pero ang concept nila is nouns, verbs. Ales, ikaw. Ales, mama. Mama, ales. Okay, that's how they speak. They have the verb, they have the nouns. Pero wala pa silang mga iba pang parts of speech. So that's what we mean by telegraphic speech. And that's the sequence. From cooing, babbling, one-word utterances, and then two-word utterances. Ito daw ang technique when speaking to these kids, to these toddlers, huwag nyo silang kausapin na kung ano sila, like they use nouns and verbs. Ganun din yung pagkausap. Like baby talk, yung bina-baby talk mo sila. Kasi yun yung naririnig nila, yun yung i-adapt nila, yun yung gagayahin nila. So that's what we mean. Give them the correct sound when they are baby talking or using telegraphic speech. Do not respond with the same pattern. Okay, use the pattern that you are using for them to hear what is right. Kung ano yung tama. Unless kalalakihan nila, ito may nakita na ako, naging estudyante na ako hanggang sa high school. 4th year high school, yung pagsasalita niya. Parang bata. Pero normal siya. He can deliver questions. But in terms of speaking, in the field of linguistics, noted linguist Noam Chomsky claimed that humans have this what we call LAD, or language acquisition device. So when saying LAD, it's the instinctive mental capacity which enables infant to acquire and produce language. This means that we, humans, seem to be biologically primed to be ready to acquire knowledge. Na eto daw tao, pag tao ka, automatic you have this language acquisition device that you will learn how to speak. Mabagal man, mabilis, but you will learn how to speak. You have the ability. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit ang isang aso, kahit na nabuhay sa paligid ng mga tao, hindi pa rin magsasalita na parang tao. Okay, it's only among humans that we have this LAD, this language acquisition device na wala sa ibang hayop. That's why we are the highest form of creature, di ba? We have this language acquisition device. Bakit po yung parrot, nakakapagsalita, hindi naman buo. And the parrot is just mimicking. Unlike for humans, ang lengguwahe nila, it's really a language that we produce because we follow rules. May mga grammar rules tayo. Mga parrot, wala namang grammar rules. Okay? So again, that's what we mean by LAD. Language Acquisition Device. It's the mental capacity that enables humans to acquire and produce language. Okay? Okay, last topic, the social-emotional development has something to do with the development of a person's ability to master one's emotion. Okay, the ability to relate to others. Ayan, meron na rin pala during infancy and toddlerhood. So it necessarily includes temperament, attachments, and social skills. So what do we mean by this? Let's start with attachment. For healthy social-emotional development, the infant needs to establish an enduring emotional bond by seeking and maintaining closeness to a specific figure, like the mother. Okay, particularly during stressful situation. This is the social phenomenon of attachment. Okay, according to Dr. John Bowley, the father of attachment theory, the beginnings of attachment occur within the first 6 months of a baby's life, with a variety of built-in signals that baby uses to keep her caregiver engaged. And usually, it is the mother. Yung attached siya sa nanay niya. Ito yung mga baby na kapag nilay mo sa magulang, ayan, iiyak. Okay, at alam niya pag gusto niya dumede, iyak lang siya, ibibigay ng magulang o kung sino man yung nag-aalaga sa kanya. So that's already a social-emotional attachment. Early at that age, meron ng connection emotionally. May emotion ng involved. Okay, next, temperament. Temperament is a word that captures the ways that people differ, even at birth, in such things as their emotional reactions, activity level, attention span, persistence, and ability to regulate their emotions. So those are the components of temperament. I repeat, emotional reactions, activity level, attention span, persistence, and ability to regulate their emotions. So when you say activity level, pwede kasing active or inactive yung bata. Makilos o hindi masyadong makilos. When in terms of mood, pwede naman yung merong mga cheerful na bata, meron naman yung malulungkutin na bata. Okay, low-key lang sila. When we talk about threshold for distress, ayan, it talks about becoming sensitive. Okay, yung sensitive sila or those babies who can wait. Let's say for instance, pag gutom, iiyak. Meron naman yung mga baby na marunong maghintay, hindi iiyak, but they will wait for the schedule. Okay. Next is rhythmicity. So when say rhythmicity, it's the scheduled feeding. Ito yung mga sinasabi ko, naka-schedule yung pagdede. Pag hindi sila pinadede on time, iiyak. Okay. Meron naman din yung nagpo-poops on time. Meron yung nagpo-poops na iba-iba yung oras. That's normal. Okay, yung nanay alam niya na kapag umaga na, di ba? Ayan, kaya pag gabi, mag-pops na yan. Pero meron naman yung nagbabago-bago yung defecating hours niya. Yung pagpo-pops. Okay, even yung pagdede. Even yung pagtulog, ayan, that's part of rhythmicity. Pabago-bago. Okay? Pero usually pag baby naman, infant, madalas natutulog yan. Upon reaching toddlerhood, ayan, nagbabago-bago na yung tulog nila. Okay. Intensity of response. This is for people or for babies who are acting restless, okay, when they are hungry, some are shrieking, ayun yung intensity of response. When say intensity, hindi lahat ng baby pare-pareho ng reaction pag gutom sila. Next is adaptability or the ability to regulate own emotions. Babies on toys may focus or easily get distracted when noise is around. Okay, that's about distractibility. And last is persistence, about the attention span. May baby na may long attention span, may baby naman na may short attention span. Kausap mo, nakatingin sa'yo, nakarinig lang ng sounds, they will be distracted. Okay, that's for the social-emotional development. I'd like you to read more on these topics. Okay, especially the cognitive and the socio-emotional development of infant and toddlers using our self-paced learning module, which I will upload in MS Teams.